Alright, should we get going? I think we should get going. Let me just make sure. Let's see, is audio all good? I think audio's all good. I think we're ready to go. You get to hang out with my sick cat who's in the way. Right? Are you my sick cat, Koshi? Let's see if you can kind of see her eyes here. Here, look at the camera a second. Oh. She's doing better, though. She's doing better, but yes. I am surrounded by cats at the moment. I've got Koshi there. I've got Luna there. And then I've got not there. So it's apparently the cat stream today. But hello, welcome. Welcome to the stream. I'm sure at some point here Koshi will want to leave because I'm talking. And we'll actually be able to ink some things. Otherwise, I guess we're inking things on top of Koshi. Unfortunately, she might be okay with this. So much cat hair. We've got a few things to ink today. I've got pretty much the stuff that we sanded the other week. So we've got a couple sets of D20s. Hello, Koshi. Woo! For a couple of sets of Patreon rewards D20s. And then some various six-sided dice. A couple of Fate dice sets. How do I feel about the exposure on here? It might be a little bit bright. Ah, there we go. A couple of sets of Fate dice, and then some pipped D6s. Yes, hello, Koshi. Are you sniffing everything? Just to check out all the things here. And then also just a random D6, too. Perhaps we start with these ones, because I've kind of already started on them. When I was making the thumbnail for this stream, I dripped some gold ink onto a D6. Here, Koshi, you can wear that on your head. Onto a D6, and then I was just kind of wiping it off, and it filled in some of the pips, and I thought it looked pretty, so I think maybe we just do these in gold. Might as well finish them up, right? In the gold. Hi, Koshi. Yes, hello, my sweet girl. My sweet girl who is sick, but getting better. Oh. I can tell that she's doing better because she's actually up on my desk. She hasn't been up on my desk in like more than a week. She's just been sleeping in the hall closet or on the chair over there. She's still a little bit bony. Which, if you know Koshi, she's not a bony cat. She is a chunky cat. With a nice even layer of fat all around. Oh, yeah, you're still sniffy. Okay. Alright, Koshi, let's see if we can make some space for you. Don't drink my paint water. See if we can make some space for you and also for inking things, which is what I'm trying to do on my desk right now here, sweetheart. And kind of in the way a bit. Hello. Will you maybe scoot over under my microphone a little bit? No paint water for you. No. My cats, they love paint water. I have to hide it from them. Alright, baby. How's this gonna work? Can I angle this? Is that better? There's less... Oh, Koshi. This might make it difficult. I think we can make it work. Alright. We'll start with these D6s. Our, oceany D6s. That inspired some, D20s that we poured last week. Right. I find that pips are almost... Oh, yay. Do you want to lay there? I can move this for you. Here. Oh, here, I'll move that for you. You can lay on top of the computer. That's not what I was trying to do. Yes, hello, Koshi. She's still here. Where are you trying to get to? I moved my headphones to the ground so you can lay on top of my computer if you want. Why don't you go here? You can go down now. Yes, hello. You're very cute. So much cat hair. Hello. Yeah, you can just sit there for a bit. I feel like pipped D6s are sometimes, like, harder almost, because the pips are maybe more shallow and they're also wider. And so it's very easy to, when you're trying to wipe off the faces, like accidentally wipe out some of the inside of the pip and just smear paint everywhere, which I've already kind of done on this die. Okay, she's leaving. We can get going on this. All right, but let's finish these up. I will want to film some of working on the like inking in at least one of the D20s, just for future video of making them. It's kind of fun having like a short little video project to work on, because I've been doing shorts of all the Patreon D20s. Hello Luna, she's gonna hop down too. I've just been doing shorts of all of them, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of nice having just a short little simple video project to work on. I'm ahead on those videos. I really need to finish up the project for the next video I want to do. I haven't even finished the project yet. It's one of those things where I've been kind of putting it off. Not quite sure why. Just have been. I know that the editing is going to take forever too. I've got so much video footage, and I need to figure out how I want to put it together in a way that is going to make the most sense. It's like, what's the story here? How do I want to tell this and make it entertaining? You know, I really should get some of these dice in my shop. Should update my shop at some point. I have a set of like Vampire the Masquerade dice that are just sitting on the table over there. That they've been done for a while. I just need to actually like get nice photos and get everything put together. I think I've been kind of waiting to have more than just one set of dice to add to the shop, so I can kind of, you know, announce that there's a bunch all at once. But now that I've got some D6s and Fate dice and things here, get all of these at once. I'll have a non-D&D dice set update. I've had some updates recently. I've been, to my shop, I've been slowly going through, like, all of the, stuff that I made for, like, in-person events. Have I ever put moss in dice? Yes, I've put moss in dice. It works really well. You just gotta make sure that it's dry. Hello, Luna. Just gotta make sure that it's dry moss, but yeah, that works quite well. I probably have some. I could pull out my thing of dice. You could see. Look at some of my dice that I've made. Let me make this. I don't know how I feel about the gold on the D6 side, because it is a little bit harder to see. Because that's where most of the gold is. I like the gold on the other sides, though. I feel like it stands out nicely, but maybe blends in a bit on the 6 side. I don't know. What do we think about that? How are we feeling about the gold on the 6 side there? Here, let me see if I have moss dice real quick, since I've had a question about them. Look at the kitty cat. She's just asleep. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Oh yeah, these are moss. Just a second. Let me set some things down. Welcome to my container of dice. Actually, a couple of these have moss in them, but let's start with these ones, because I think these kind of show it off the best. I might need to manually... Oh, no, it wants to focus. Yay. Oh man, I wish she provided lumbar support. That'd be nice. I'm pretty sure she just provides back pain. I'm trying to get it so you can... Let me just manually focus this real quick. There we go. So yeah, you can see the moss in there. So these have moss in them. It's like I think it's reindeer moss. I like the reindeer moss. I feel like it has a lot of texture to it, which I like. I also did like these. So I tried to do a set that looks kind of like moss agate. So this is also like different colors of like dyed moss in here. Kind of a veiny look to it almost. Oh, these have moss as well. I really like this set as well. Let's see. We'll do this one. This one shows it off really well. This one also has. Oh, this one also has moss. You can see kind of the green there, and there's kind of like a reddish purpley moss as well. And then, do I have any of the other moss? This also has some moss and things in it. This has flowers and things as well. This is one of my favorite sets. It also has, so that's actually fake. That really dark, it's actually dark green. That there is like a fake moss. It's like a stuff for like model making. But there's some real moss in there too. Let me see if I have one that has different kinds of moss. You can maybe see some of the different colors in there. Again, I like that reindeer moss, but there's plenty of other kinds you can get too. I've gotten stuff that's like thicker, like a thicker kind of moss, almost more like a grass almost. No, I think those are all the ones that I have with moss in them. Yeah, I think that's it. These ones have little planty bits, but I don't think that's moss. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh. Let me see, wait, what's in these ones? That's more leaves, I think, than anything. These ones have yellowed quite a bit. That is the problem with let me fix the focus. That's something that I'm still trying to figure out, is the yellowing. I feel like some of my dice have yellowed so much worse than other ones, and I don't know if it's... Oops, these are falling out of their bottle. I'm gonna break that wax seal off because it's actually in my way of putting this cork back on. Oh no, it's the D6 that's in the way of putting the cork back on. Get this at a good angle. There we go. Oh yeah, moss would look super good in swamp dice. I think that's a great idea. I've definitely, yeah. Everything's falling out of these. Just trying to get all of the dice back in these bottles. Okay. I think some of the yellowing might be due to sunlight too, because I have taken some of my dice to like in-person shows where I was tabling and things outside. I wonder if that might have affected things some. I guess that's in focus. But I don't know. I don't know if it's colorants. I don't know if I got a bad batch of resin at some point, or if it's just inevitable. But the unpredictability of it annoys me slightly. All right, but yeah, so what do we think about the gold on the 6 side with the other bits of gold on the inside? Like I said, I like the gold on the other sides, but I worry it blends in on the 6 side. Or do you think that that's fine? Maybe it's fine. Might be fine. You know that it's the high face because it has all of the gold. I was debating inking these in white instead of gold, but I think I like the gold. I think the gold's pretty. What else are you thinking of putting in your swamp dice? Like, what sort of colors and stuff are you thinking, Hippie? Are you going for like kind of murky browns and things? Or are you going more? Oh, this is a white rag, so it's kind of in between cloth and fabric. I should put a link to my Amazon storefront on my stream. I really should. I wonder if I could do that somewhere. But they're called white rags. They're really great for like they're like disposable shop rags basically. But they are great. It's like, yeah, it's somewhere kind of in between like fabric and paper. Like it is paper. Like it tears, but it's a little bit thicker and a little bit kind of softer than a paper towel is. You always add 1 drop or 2 of blue dye to prevent yellowing in clear projects. Yeah, I probably should just start adding a little bit of blue. It's really interesting that blue makes like white look whiter and black look blacker. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that, but if you have like a really cool toned white, it feels a lot brighter and whiter than like a warm toned white. And it's the same thing with like black. If you have a slightly cool toned black, it feels darker than a warm toned black. I've kind of avoided doing that with the adding blue, just because I worried about my project ending up blue, but I think in the long run that's probably a good idea. Just add a little bit of blue dye to help cancel out any yellowing that might occur later on. You're actually building tiny scenes and opted for larger dice. Nice! That was actually my original, my original, idea for my shop was doing just little diorama dice. I mean, I'm glad that I didn't stick with that, and that I did other things too. Partially just because it's so much work, but it's also really fun. Do you guys want to, like, I mean, it's for a commission. I usually don't like to show off things for commissions, but do you guys want to see the little items that I made recently for a commission I'm working on that's going to be a little diorama? I want to show you the tiniest thing that I've ever 3D printed. Let's see if I can. I'll show you the tiniest thing I've ever 3D printed and then painted. Let's see. Let me just try and get this in focus so that I can show you. I might need to go closer. I might need to go even closer. There we go. There's a cat hair there. Welcome to the tiniest thing I've ever 3D printed. I do have slightly larger ones too. Let's see. Let me grab one of the bigger ones. There's the bigger one. Anyways, I cannot recommend nail art brushes enough, because oh my goodness, these things were it worked great for painting these things. But yeah, these things, oh boy, they're tiny. So many ducks. I'm really happy with how they turned out. Alright, let me get back to focusing there. Yeah. I'm glad my 3D printer's working so well. I got a lot of help figuring out like the settings and stuff from the folks in my Discord. I had the complete wrong exposure time for a long time there. I was like, I'm not getting any detail. Why am I not getting any detail? And then discovered that like my exposure time was set like 10 times too long. So anyways, now that that's fixed, I can print tiny ducks. I need to print a minifigure for my current D&D campaign. That's something I'm going to work on today after I'm done streaming. Is I got files from Hero Forge. I need to get them set up to print. One of the projects for today. Oh, I should add. So I know I mentioned that I should put my Amazon storefront link in the description. So I have like an affiliate account on Amazon. So basically, if I link people to things and then they buy things, I can make some money from it. I went through all of my like video descriptions recently and added that. Because it has like the supplies that I use, so that way people can go and look up and find things if they want to work on dice stuff themselves or are curious what I'm using. But I should go in and add some more stuff, like the tiny brushes that I got recently that I used for those ducks. I've got them here. They're pretty inexpensive, honestly. But let's see. Grab. I just used the shortest one, so there's that. I suppose I'd have to focus it up close if I want to show you. Anyways, there's the brush I used to paint those ducks. But it also has like, the set also has like, here, I'll grab the longest one, I think. There's the longest brush. Because they're built for doing nail art. And I honestly got them for doing little items for that, like that. But also painting blanks. I thought it would work really well for that. Like, I could make some D20 blanks and then paint them with all sorts of fun swirls and things. I was thinking that those might work well for that because they're built for doing nice lines and things on nails. Honestly, there's a lot of cool, like, a lot of stuff that's great for nail art seems to be great for dice making too. Like, I've definitely gotten nail art stickers before to, like, put on blanks and things, because they're just the right size. Or nail art charms or whatever. It's like they're small enough that I can actually put them into a set of dice. Whereas if you just look up stickers or whatever, they're huge. But need more paint. I'm still surrounded by cats. They're still all in here. Even though they've moved to various places, they're still in the room with me. Which thing are you saying same to, Hippie? The problem with... So, this is a conundrum that I've been dealing with for a long time. The problem with streaming on YouTube is that there's a huge delay between when I say something and when you guys hear it. So if I'm talking about something and then someone responds to it, it takes forever for... Whoa! Frisky cat. It's so long before I get to, like, hear you guys' responses to things, and I've usually moved on and I don't know what anyone's talking about anymore. I was debating. I really should figure it out at some point. So I used to stream on Twitch before I ever did anything on YouTube, doing art stuff. And I really should figure out how to like dual stream. I moved over from Twitch to YouTube when I started doing edited videos. Oh, I missed a side. Ah. Oh, obsessed with the nail charms. Oh, Dragonite nail charms. Nice. Yeah, there's some cool stuff out there. But that was because there was like Twitch policy type things where if you were a partner on Twitch, you couldn't like stream on other platforms, but I think that's changed now, it seems like. So I could probably get it set up so that I could just live stream and then have it stream on both YouTube and Twitch. I don't know how that would mess with like the chat is the thing. Not quite sure how that would affect things. But I should get that figured out at some point. I kind of had it on my to-do list to get some stream stuff figured out this week. We'll see if I get to it, though. I have some other things I need to do. Finish up the project I was talking about for the next big video I want to work on. But one of these days I should get like my starting slideshow and stuff put onto the laptop in my craft space so that it's not just a blank screen when I start stream there. It might also be nice if I figured out how to set up like, I don't know if I need like a chat replay on the screen necessarily, because on YouTube you can have the chat replay basically you can have it so that it stays, like you save it, and the chat can replay when someone goes back to watch the YouTube video. Just because I figure if we're having conversations, sometimes might be hard for people who are watching the stream after the fact to know what all was said. Which is also why I usually try to kind of reiterate what people are saying in the chat and what I'm responding to. But I don't know, I could set up like some sort of like notifications or something. I don't know what I'd set up notifications for. It's not like I don't know what I'd set up notifications for. I guess technically people can become members of the channel or whatever, but there's really not too many perks to that. Like I said, I find the pips so much harder to ink. All the paint just wants to like make its way out of the pips. Anyways, what have you guys been up to this week? I've had a sick cat, as I was talking about earlier. I guess she's been sick for more than just this week, but she seems to be getting better now. She's been up and about yesterday and today, which is good. It's more than she has been. What have I been working on? I've got my resume all updated. I was working on that today. I had my dad look over it for me. So I think I've got that all good. So I can start applying to some things. The exciting life I lead. Trying to get bubbles and things out of there too. Done more editing as always. Got some mostly like I was talking about before, Patreon shorts of making the Patreon D20s. I'm working on editing those. Alright. I think I like it with the gold. I think it's pretty with the gold. Gotta let those dry now. Let me change the focus so it's closer. And I feel like they're a lot brighter in person. I don't know if it's my monitor or if it's my camera that's washing them out, but they're nice and vibrant in person. They feel maybe a little bit more muted, at least on my screen. There's those. I like those. I think they're pretty. right, what should we do next? So I've got some ideas for the Patreon D20s, but I'm not 100% sure. I wanted to get your guys' opinion on some of them. So let's maybe start with these. So we've got these are the ones from February. We've got they're pink. They got a little bit of a shimmery trail in them with some butterflies and some hearts. I was thinking I could ink them in like a shimmery white that kind of shimmers pink. I don't know if I'll be able to. So this is the color. You don't see the pink too much, but it does shimmer like a pink color. So I was thinking could do that. Could also do, I have this pink, which is too dark, but I could mix it with some white and make like a light pink color. Could do that. So don't go shimmery. And I've got shimmer on the inside of the die, so maybe go like a flat, light pink color. I don't know. What do you guys think? What color should we do for the dice? Should we do shimmery white or should we do a light pink? Oh, they look almost orange in that light. They are quite reddish pink, though. Pink or white? I should say like a flat pink or a shimmery white. I had to leave there for a second. You said you were making a new D&D character? Oh, it's not a new, not necessarily like I've already been playing as a character. I just haven't had a minifigure. So I went, you think white? That's fair. I think it'll have a little bit more contrast, which might be nice. I could go for a flat. I think the shimmery white would be nice. I think I've mentioned the character before. He's like a college professor who's taking a sabbatical to work on his 3rd PhD, and is not built for the outdoors at all, but decided for some reason to study plants. So he's just kind of he's a wizard. So he's just muddling along. Okay. I need to film this. So let me get my camera. That out of the way. Let me see if I can find there's a better patch, I think, of clean. Maybe. Oh, I need to film this sideways. What am I thinking? Just a second. This is always fun to figure out how to set up. Ooh. So I want it like this. You made your first set of liquid cores, but don't know if they turned out yet. Ooh, that's exciting. Liquid cores are fun. Don't feel too discouraged if they have problems. I know a lot of people have trouble with liquid cores, and I still have ones that just don't turn out sometimes. I think I have one sitting over here, actually, where there's a crack in the core. You can see it, and that's let me see if I can show you the crack in this liquid core. I think maybe my cores are just a little bit too big. Okay, let's see if I can. Oh, there. Can you see under the 12 that line? Can you see that line there behind the... Oh yeah, there you go. You can see it. That line behind the 12 into the 2 and the... Yeah, it's like cracked. So it's just sitting over here. Not quite sure what to do about that. I don't think there is anything to do. I've just kind of called it a failure and moved on. Alright. Let's get these inked. So, I need to show off inking one of them at the very least. Sorry if you guys get put a little bit to the wayside on this one. But once I get one die inked, I'll make sure that you guys get the best front row seat to all the inking. instead of my video camera. Yeah, I think the white was a good call. I think that's nice. I think the white's nice. With a little bit of a pink shimmer. Oh, you know what else I did recently? I put in an application on Skillshare to put, like, dice making classes up on there. I haven't heard anything back, though. I don't know if there's, like, a certain time frame I should expect to hear back. Or if they're just, like, not accepting new teachers at the moment or something. I thought that could be fun, though. I obviously enjoy making videos and showing off how to make dice. I figured it might be nice to expand into trying a slightly different platform and things for that. I'm staying busy. I'm always staying busy. I was talking to my coworkers recently because I said, yeah, I think I'm gonna apply to work in, like, a school. And I said, you know, I think it'd be nice having summers off. Because obviously if I was working in a school, I'd get summers off, same as the kids. And at least one of my coworkers was like, oh, but then you have to figure out what to do during the summer. I'm like, that is not a problem. It really will not be a problem not knowing what to do in the summer. I've still got all this stuff going on. I'm still making dice and things. There's always stuff to do. Even if I wasn't making dice, I would find stuff to do. I'd maybe do more painting. It's been a while since I've done any painting. And I kind of miss it. I really enjoy painting. I might want to zoom with the camera and not just paint it this close, because this is kind of in my way, I think. Yeah, let's do this and then use the zoom function so I've got a little bit more space. There we go. Oh, that's better. Got a little bit more space to actually hold things then. So what colors and things did you use for your first set of liquid cores, Hippie? I should do some more liquid cores. Like, they always turn out so fun, liquid cores do. It's just got that extra step. Actually, what I really should do is I should go through all of my unpolished dice sets at some point. Maybe with you guys on a stream. And we should pull some of them out to put in my shop as raw sets or to sand and polish. I was trying to figure out the other week, I think I was trying to figure it out on stream, like, if there's a way I could do, I don't know, almost like a live auction for some of my dice, maybe just to clear out some of them. I have some sets that I've had for quite a while. Actually, what I might do is I might pull out some of the sets that I've had for a while, and I have a bunch of sets of mystery dice. They're either 7 or 8 piece sets that I've made. And that's really what they were. They were sets that were fine. They were good, but didn't sell for whatever reason, so I just pulled them out and put them in little, like, mystery packages. So you don't know what you're getting. I mean, I talk like sales have slowed down in my shop, which they have, but then like in the past like week I had like 3 different orders randomly. So I don't know what's up there. I'm gonna work on pouring some stuff this week. I've got the commission. Oh, I have a frisky cat apparently. I have the commission I'm working on that I painted the tiny things for. I need a little bit more. And then I've got, if you were here, was it last week that we poured resin? I think it was last week that we poured resin. The Jumbo D6s, I like how most of them turned out, but there's 2 of them that I want to, like, get slightly different. Like, the green one turned out rather dark, I think, and then the red one's not quite saturated enough. So while I'm working on that commission that I need to pour things for, I figured I could re-pour those as well. And for your daughter's transference, you went pink, core, blue, and clear swirl. Where the core would look purple. I mean, it might, but maybe not. To be fair, even if it does look purple, it won't be quite trans flag, but it'll be pretty, I bet. And then the pips will be white. Nice! Cool. That seems like a good combo. And get the 5 filled in. Sounds like you're having a lot of fun making dice, which is great. You've got so many different things that you want to do and make. Which is honestly one of the best things I think about dice and resin is like the options are limitless. You could do everything under the sun. There's always something new to try, or some new material to put in, or new colors to put together that you haven't put together before. Alright, let me... Okay, we'll call that good. I've got that inked. I'll show you guys as well how it turned out with the white. I think the white's nice. Let me focus this closer. It's a little bit messy at the moment. I need to clean it up, but... Oh my gosh, I'm so shaky today. Ooh, I need to add a little bit more paint there, but you get the idea. I need to clean that up. Come on, focus. There we go. Where was that one that was... I don't know why this is so messy. I feel like... I think it's because the shimmer. I feel like sometimes the shimmery paints stick to the resin so much more. I feel like usually it wipes off. Live the endless possibilities. Always looking for inspiration. Yeah. Yeah. I find the process of like trying to translate something into dice really fun too. I think we were talking about that last week, weren't we? How fun it is to have like some sort of inspiration and then trying to like figure out what to do with that and how to turn it into dice. That's why I say that's why I've said I like commissions. I like doing commissions so much. I've done a lot of commissions. Do you always use an unwatered paint for numbers? I always use watered down paint. Maybe you need to switch. Not necessarily. I mean, you don't necessarily need to switch. Yeah, I usually just use paint out of here. But I tend to get maybe more bubbles. Oh my gosh. Also, this stuff really wants to end up on the sides for some reason. Why is this stuff such a mess? I'm gonna let that sit. I'm gonna let that dry, and then I will worry about cleaning out the sides. I might grab some isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip to wipe down the sides. I feel like, I mean, does it work better if it's watered down? My concern is that even, like, this is fairly thin, this kind of paint. It's not super thick. It's not, like, you know, higher quality paint is, but, I feel like I'd end up with stuff like this where it ends up all on the faces because it just kind of pours out of the numbers. I feel like that's part of my issue, is that it's so thin that it doesn't want to stay inside the numbers. If I set it down like this, some of it's going to kind of work its way out before it dries. I don't know, though. A lot of my dice process, you will find, comes down to what I started with, I have not changed. So I'm still using just the same resin that I originally got, because I'm like, well, this works. Guess I'll stick with it. So it was literally just the random first resin that I bought on Amazon, which is Art and Glow, and was like, well, this seems to work for dice, great. Now I don't have to do any research into anything else ever. And then same thing with like the paint that I use for inking and stuff. I'm like, oh great, this acrylic paint seems to work. Let's just keep doing that. If it ain't broke, exactly. So there's always probably better ways to do things than how I'm doing them. It's just very much a case of, well, if it ain't broke, I don't need to worry about that right now. No point in changing it if it's working. I mean, I have now gotten like other resin for like different projects where I'm like, I don't think the resin that I have is gonna be quite right for the project. I'll talk more about that in a video, hopefully fairly soon. I haven't edited the video yet, so it's probably gonna be like a month out, but did get some new resin for a different project where I was like, I don't know if this resin's quite strong enough for what I want to use it for. Actually, I've been helping my dad out with resin. He's working on a wood project with a flat piece of wood, and he wanted to coat it with resin. Use model paint, which is thicker acrylic, but you stole it from your husband who paints miniatures. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like miniature paint, I've definitely heard, works well for inking the numbers. I mean, I do have nicer acrylic paint, but it's not in nearly as many fun colors as this. Ooh. Yeah, I feel like these two sets of Patreon D20s are maybe a little bit simpler. I'm really happy with the ones that we poured last week, which I did actually post a picture of on in the, I think it's community tab, and also in my Discord. Really excited about those. I think those turned out really pretty. I'm not sure what I want to do for this month. It's May? I mean, it's April showers bring May flowers. Maybe I'll do something with flowers. Could do something with, or maybe moss and flowers. That could be pretty. That might be a direction to go. I could either use actual flowers, or I could try out my new, like, I could make blanks and try out my new brushes. Oh, hello, kitten. She's awake. Nope, she's curling back up. Never mind. She's curling back up behind me. Maybe I make some blanks and try out my new brushes. That could be kind of fun. I like to do a kind of a mix of complexities, I guess, of the Patreon D20s. Some of them are pretty simple, some of them have fun special inclusions in them. I might have to print out some more rubber ducks. That would be fun at some point for a set of Patreon D20s too. Maybe slightly larger ones. Might go a little bit simpler than the commission I'm doing, which is going to be a few different steps and things, but what do we think for May? Should I do real flowers, painted flowers, or rubber ducks? What should I do for May's Patreon D20s? I suppose I could do those different, like, if I grab my calendar, my Patreon calendar, I have a note in here, flowers for May. Maybe painted flowers. I don't think I've done that. I wonder if I could do kind of like, you know, a blue and white pottery sort of look. I wonder if I could do that on some blanks. That'd be pretty cool if I could. It's the last time I did a blue. Like, you think ducks? I could do ducks in June, too. Or July. Actually, maybe ducks for, like, July. It's gonna be May. Do NSYNC dice? Yeah. Yeah. Ramen. No, that's the wrong one. No, that is the right one. Ramen sounds pretty good now. I might do flowers for May, and I might do ducks for, like, July. That's what I'm thinking. You like his idea better? Let me add this to my spreadsheet real quick. I've got it here. May, June, July. Rubber ducks. Not that I've decided on anything for June either, but I don't know why July feels like a good month for rubber ducks. Gives me a little bit of time before I have to paint more rubber ducks again, too. Have to do it. Oh gosh. Well, I've got the tiny brushes for it. I can paint it now. I suppose I could print it out, but yeah, I might try doing like painted flowers. I don't know. Maybe I do actual flowers, and then later on, like July, maybe November, I tried doing like a China pattern. I feel like that could be pretty cool. Try to split up some of the more complicated ones. So I want to say June, July, August, a painted china pattern. I'm thinking like that blue and white one. That'll also then like spread it out a bit from the very blue and green ones that we just did. So I'd like to kind of split up the colors, like having a spread, which is part of the reason that these two that are next to each other are so different. I'm gonna try not to do like two pink ones back to back or whatever. Have some variety. That's the key. So I think I'll use actual flowers in the ones for May, and then July we can do rubber ducks, and then November we'll do like a pottery china pattern with my fancy tiny brushes. Oh, do you have, I mean, if you've got access to snakeskin, yeah. Just gotta, I mean, you said you just watched it, so I guess you've probably heard all of the suggestions in the video already. But man, it really does just disappear if you don't color it with anything. It just completely disappears in the resin. The snakeskin video was an interesting one because, oh, well, I ended up writing, like, it ended up with someone emailing me from, was it Make magazine? That was called. Yeah, it was Make magazine. To write a article for them. Oh my gosh, I can't type. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here, I can even give you the link if you want. Here's your fun fact of the day. There's your fun random thing. That was from, it's a year ago, January 2025, but more than a year ago now. So that was from a while ago. But yeah, that was kind of fun. Just random thing that I ended up doing. I don't remember what all I wrote since it was from more than a year ago now. Hopefully nothing too incriminating. We'll see how long of a delay there is between when you guys get that link and when you hear what it actually is from me. This is what I'm talking about with a delay. Makes it a little bit probably more confusing when random links appear in the chat. But yeah, the snakeskin, or snake shed, it's not like skin, it's snake shed. I don't know if that article covers much more than the video. It doesn't really, but I just thought it was something fun that I ended up doing. I feel like there's a lot of possibilities with it. I really should work with it more. Like, it could definitely be cool for like some dragon themed dice. That, yeah, I could definitely do something with that. I wonder if I could like attach it to like some blanks. Although I've seen another thing that I really should try at some point, where people use, I think it's nail polish, but they put like nail polish on the layer, or UV resin. They coat it on something, and then they put like a bunch of soap bubbles on it, and then they cure it, and then they wipe the soap bubbles off, and it gives it kind of a dragon scale effect, or just a scaled effect. I should really try that on some blanks at some point, because I think that could end up being really cool. Actually, I might have had a friend that did that. Did my friend do that? Dragon. currently unavailable. Favorite character is a Dragonborn? Oh, yeah. So that could be cool for that. This is, the talk of characters got me thinking about it, but the character that I need to print the mini for, I am excited to paint the mini. It's been a while since I've painted a mini, and it is quite fun. I always have a good time. Even if it is difficult, because they're tiny. But I've got my new brushes, so I might be able to get some more detail in there. That's the hope, anyway. I'm playing an Aasimar at the moment, so don't tell my don't tell the people in my campaign. But I actually got 2 minis that I'm gonna print, and one of them is just the normal guy, and the second one's him with like his wings out. Because I think it'd be really fun the first time that he ends up popping his wings out. I can't do it yet. It's a level 3 thing, but I think it'd be fun the first time he does that to pull out the winged mini. So I get 2 minifigures to paint. I'm so excited. I don't think the people in my campaign necessarily realize just kind of like how not human this guy looks. Just like he does look fairly human, but he's got like copper skin and like greenish hair. That's my plan anyways, kind of a tealy white. You made a resin dragon notebook just for that character. That sounds cool. Like a notebook. Do you have like a notebook cover mold? Is that kind of what you used, or? I should pull out some of my old silicone molds that I haven't used in a while, because I have somewhere some like notebook. Before I ever did dice, I had some resin molds, and one of them I think was little notebook covers. I had notebook covers, I had some bookmark molds. A few different molds before I ever did dice. It might be fun to do that. It might be fun to make some little notebooks and things. For my D&D campaign that we're in, I literally just have one of those little tiny, I don't know if they are called like pocket notebooks or whatever. And it's just, I have a binder that I have my character sheet and stuff in. I have it in like a page protector so I can use a marker on it to write down my hit points and stuff. And not on the actual page. You know, I have like a wet erase marker. But I have it just shoved into one of the pockets there for all my notes. So I've got like all the other characters' names and things written down in there. I still can't remember most of the other characters' names. I mean, we didn't start the campaign too long ago, but also everyone in our campaign decided, I know, let's give our characters names where there's at least one letter in it that is either silent, it's not pronounced, or it is not spelled like phonetically for the English language. Yeah. What's my favorite wizard spell so far? Amusingly, I am crap at casting spells. It's just because of dice rolls. The thing that has been the most effective so far has been punching people in the face. Because I took the, what is that feat called? Tavern Brawler. I took the Tavern Brawler feat. I don't have good strength, but this setting is on a bunch of like sky islands, and with the Tavern Brawler feat, at least in the new version, if you hit something, you can also push it back 5 feet. I've literally just been shoving enemies off of the sky islands. So yeah, But let's see, what spells do I have? I can pull up I have my spells on my phone. Let me pull up my character here. I've mostly been using Ray of Frost, but I really haven't done much with spells yet. I think I want to go more utility, maybe. So, you know, like detect magic and identify and some of those non-combat ones. Those are the ones that I always find the most fun. Okay, actually, you know what? I haven't used it yet. But I will tell you, I'm looking forward to. I have a spell that I got when I leveled up to level 2, and I got it for the meme, and I'm excited for when I'll be able to use it for the first time. But the situation that I got it for has not come up yet, and that is my wizard character. Obviously hasn't been like he's not used to roughing it. Did not think to bring a tent or anything for traveling. And so is she a fighter? I think she's a fighter. You accidentally bought a holographic bookmark mold. That's cool. Now your daughter's taking orders at school. Nice. That's fun though. That's really fun. But so he's sharing a tent with, I think it's our fighter. Anyways, has been struggling at putting up a tent. We had a whole joke at one point where he's writing he's watching the other person do it and writing a manual on how to put up the tent, and somehow ends up with like more pieces than he started with when he tried to do it himself. So I went and took the spell Unseen Servant, and my plan is the next time we have to put up a tent, I'm gonna be like, wait, give me 10 minutes, I need to ritually cast something, and I'm gonna cast Unseen Servant to put up the tent for me. Because this guy is so terrible at putting up a tent. It's like, I've come up with a magical solution for this, so that I don't have to try and put up the tent anymore. But I don't have it prepared, so I gotta cast it as a ritual. It's gonna take 10 minutes for me to cast this spell, and then we'll see how it goes. But that's my plan. So I kind of am enjoying the idea of taking utility spells and spells for the meme. And then in combat, literally just shoving people off of the Sky Islands or stabbing them with a dagger. I wonder how long the holographicness of the bookmark will last. Because I know that it's built into like the texture in the mold itself, but I know that like molds can kind of like start to like get a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? Matte. That's the word I'm looking for. They can get a little matte after a while of using them. So I wonder how long the holographicness lasts. Like how many pours you can do into it. Probably quite a few, I would imagine, but I don't know. That's cool though. Now I want a holographic bookmark. That's fun. The mold that I got at one point that I still don't understand is there was someone on like Facebook Marketplace that was getting rid of some resin stuff. It was just like it was a hobby that they decided to try and then never really got into. So they were just getting rid of the stuff that they'd gotten to try it out. So it was mostly just some colorants and a few molds and things. But I got a mold from them that just kind of baffled me. And that's because it was a mold for like the part that goes around like a license plate on a car to hold it there. And the reason that it baffles me is that resin is so UV reactive. Like that's gonna break down in the sun so quickly. It just seems like such a weird choice for something to be made out of resin. It's like I don't know about that. That seems like it's not gonna last very long. I suppose I live somewhere that's rather sunny, but well, it's been pretty cloudy today. But That one was weird to me. That one just seemed like a weird choice for a resin mold. There's some cool molds out there, though. I should do... There's so many... I've got so many molds. And I really should use some of them more. Some of them are really cool. I just have to actually, like, make the time to... Well, to be fair, some of it is, like, I want to make things with the molds, but then I don't know what I'm going to do with the things after I make them. Like, with the dice, at least, I mean, yes, I have a ton of them, but, like, the eventual plan is, oh, okay, I could put these in my shop or use them for a D&D game or something. Charm monster. You once charmed a carrion crawler and marched through a whole dungeon? DM was so mad. Wow. I do like a creative use of a spell, though. That is my favorite. I'm still debating what subclass I want to do for wizard. I'm at the moment thinking maybe divination, just because it seems very nerdy. I'm looking at the 2024 version as well. That's what we're playing. So I'm thinking maybe divination wizard, because my guy's a nerd, and that seems like more utility sort of things and trying to understand things sort of vibe. That tea is cold. Right, last one of these. Got 4 of them done. Last one. I have an idea for our next set of D20s here for colors. I don't know if it's gonna look good or not. That's the thing. We might have to test it and see what we think. Actually, why don't we test it first before I finish this up? Because I might need to let it dry to see how I like it. So we'll do that in a second. So for these ones, here's kind of what I was debating. I was thinking maybe gold over where it's... Well, let me zoom and focus. I was thinking maybe gold over where it's copper. And then for the purple part, I've got a little bit of kind of like a blue sparkle in there. I was thinking maybe like a blue color with then like some of this blue shimmer over top, or I could do like a light, like a purple color with some of this blue shimmer over top. I feel like that blue shimmer would work with some of the blue glitter that's in here. It matches well. I don't know what color I'd want to do. I think I'd need to do something underneath the blue shimmer. Not necessarily, but I was thinking I would. I'm not sure what color to do there. I also still don't... I'm not quite sure if how the gold... If you want to do gold. I don't know. Well, why don't we do... Let's do one of the sides in the gold real quick. And see how we feel about it. I don't know if I like the gold or not. I don't know if I like it. Like, it shows up. But I don't know if it matches the vibe or not. I wonder if we could do, like... Maybe I've got, like, kind of a bluish green. This might be pretty. What if I did the whole thing in, like, this blue color? That might be kind of pretty. And then just did this over the top of the whole thing. I was thinking of doing 2 different colors for the 2 different sides. But I could do everything in, like, this blue with, like, a sparkle over the top. You like the contrast of the gold? Thinking. Let's see. Your husband takes pride in breaking the game. Here's stories as your group has been playing longer. It's been longer than you've been alive. That's a long... I mean... Sounds like a long campaign. Let me try some of the blue. Fill in the number here and we can see how I feel about it. Might be too dark too. What do you think of that blue? I kind of like the blue, I think. I could go for like, and then we could still do sparkles over the top. The sparkles might not show up very well though. I don't know. Could go for like a really dark blue with the sparkles over the top. Like the sparkles would show up more. I don't know if the dark blue would vibe though. Oh, actually, wait, I might have. Maybe this one. My paints. I do have a purple that shimmers blue. I could do the purple that shimmers blue with the blue. Actually, that might blend in too much, though. I don't know. It's pretty similar. But I could do this purple that shimmers blue and then blue sparkles over the top. It would maybe be a little bit too similar to the purple, though. What do we think? I do kind of like how much this blue stands out, but I feel like we won't see the glitter as much. This one's like blue and green. I don't know if that's quite the vibe I'm going for. Could be an option too. Could do this shimmery like blue tealy color. It's pretty similar to this one, but a little bit more green. And then it shimmers blue. I also play everything from basic to 5e, except you've not tried Pathfinder yet. It's been a long time since I played Pathfinder. Did that quite a few years back. We did a Pathfinder game for quite a while. I really don't remember anything about how the system works. Try the purple. Okay. Of course, it's going to be slightly different once it dries, too, I think. Oh, actually, this might stand out all right. It's subtle. Purple's kind of subtle, but it does, yeah, like, it's legible, I think. Let me... But it is definitely more subtle. You can kind of see the blue shimmer to it, actually. And then we could do the blue sparkle on top of that as well. Where am I? It blends in pretty well. I don't know. I could do purple over the copper too. And then a different color over the purple. Like, I was debating whether I wanted to do the same color over both. I could do purple over the copper. I could do purple over the copper and copper over the purple too. Like, that's also an option. But you like the purple and gold, so do purple over the purple and then gold over the copper. And then maybe some of the blue sparkle with the purple as well. I just worry that does the purple blend in too much. It does feel more real than the blue. The blue feels pretty out there a bit. It's maybe a little bit too much. I'll agree with that. Let me get rid of the blue. Get all the blue out of here. Anyone else have any thoughts? Purple and gold. Yeah, it's actually like a slightly more reddish tone, I think, than this, which kind of works. And I think with the sparkly blue over top, that'll be nice. I think it'll be kind of subtle, but I think it'll be nice. Okay, let's finish up inking what we were doing, the pink one. Let me set some of these away that we don't need, these right now. You get to see the cat for a minute. Alright, we'll finish up the our pink one here. Get that done and out of the way. I'll have to... man, this paint really likes having bubbles in it. I might touch these up a little bit later. I don't know I'm going to do that tonight, though. One of the downsides of my logo is it's got very thin little spindly parts that don't like to fill with paint. They do like to fill with all sorts of gunk from my polishing tumbler and sanding, but not paint. There we go. It's a little better. The music's still... okay, the music is still going. I put music on for your guys' benefit and I'm not listening to it. I don't know if it's... I mean, I assume you guys can hear the music in the background. I feel like I can slightly hear it from my headphones, which I have on the floor next to me. Didn't think I had it that loud. May prevent bubbles, or does the pressure pot take care of that? Oh, in the resin? Yeah, honestly, the pressure pot is a lifesaver there. Yeah, I usually have some bubbles. There's a couple of things. I mean, part of it is you know, not slowing like slowly enough that you're not adding a bunch of air. But I tend to not worry about that too much because I have a pressure pot, so I'm not as worried about it. I will say that I let my dice molds sit with the lids off for a while. So I'll pour my resin into the molds and then I'll let them sit off to the side for while I'm pouring everything else. And then I will put the lids on in the same order that I've poured things so that there's time for air to come to the surface of the die before I put the lid on. I do also, some people will use like a heat gun or a lighter. I use isopropyl alcohol to pop bubbles on the surface of the resin, like in the molds. So giving it time for the air to travel to the surface and then getting rid of some of those bubbles that have then gotten to the surface of the resin. Depends on the resin you're using too. There's thicker resins and there's thinner resins. And it seems to me like the thinner resins, it's much easier for the air bubbles in them to travel to the surface, so they end up clearer. This resin here is pretty thick resin, but I have used thinner resins for other projects and end up with a lot fewer air bubbles. It also, I think, somewhat matters on cure time and things too, and how much time, like I was saying, there is for air to travel to the surface. But yes, I do have a pressure pot. So that takes, for those that don't know, takes all of the air bubbles that are in the resin and squishes them down so small you can't see them. And then, so it effectively makes it so that you've got no bubbles at all. This is actually a bad representation of that because there is actually one little bubble on the one face. You can see it there. One little spot right there where there was a bubble. A rare occurrence. But you can see that the resin itself is quite clear. There's no air bubbles in there. It's all just a nice solid color. No, a pressure pot's been like so nice. It really elevated things. I started out, I mean, depending on, like, if you want to get a pressure pot, you will have to get an air compressor as well. There's one that's been recommended to me a few times for being a lot quieter. Mine is loud and doesn't like to hold pressure. So if you need a link to that, you can let me know. I can try and find a link. But for the actual pressure pot itself, like the first one that I had was a paint thing from Harbor Freight that I went and changed out some of the fixtures on so that it would work. So I kind of put it together myself. That's pretty common. You can find tutorial videos for that on YouTube. I now have I think it's California. Is it California Air Tools? Who is it that does the resin pressure pots? I can't remember. I got one secondhand, and it is so much better than the Harbor Freight one. The Harbor Freight one will work for you, but if you've got a little bit of oh, you have an air compressor, nice. So you're already halfway there. Is it California Air Tools? Let me see here. Let me find. Let's see if I have. Let me go to my storefront. I might have it there. Oh, it is California Air Tools. Let me go here. I'm gonna give you. This is gonna be an affiliate link, just because honestly, because it's shorter, makes it easier. But here's the a California Air Tools pressure pot, which is, I'm pretty sure, what I have, and it's great. That should work, hopefully. Oh, it's the California Air Tools air compressor. People recommended it to me too, which I don't have. I've got a loud one that isn't great that I don't recommend. But yeah, I have a pressure pot like that, and it's great. Kind of the pros to that versus doing the Harbor Freight route was that it was well, not plug and play exactly, but like you didn't have to put in a bunch of effort to get it to work. It just works. Whereas with the Harbor Freight one, there was a lot more finagling and getting it to actually hold the air pressure. That one is also like the wing nuts and things are a lot sturdier. I trust it more in that regard. But, you know, it's it costs money. Okay, let me, on this one, let me try adding some of that blue to this one that we have and see how it looks. Woo! It's bubbling up out of there. Add some of this over our purple. See if we like it. We're gonna have to let that dry though before we can see if we like it, because it's just like white while it cures. Dear. Oh dear, we're making a mess. Just get this dry paint out of the way. So maybe while we let that dry, we do a set of the fate dice. So I've got 2 sets of fate dice here. Should we just do white on these, or is that going to make them look less? Because I feel like they're kind of frosty looking. So maybe just white. Let's try white. Let's try white on one of these and see if we like it or not. We can always pick a different color if we don't like it. Yeah, I don't know if I like it. I think it's too bright versus the dye. Yeah. Maybe we go for like a light blue or something. I don't know. What color do you think we should ink these fate dice in? Let me... Or I could maybe do that purple. There's kind of like a slightly purpley tone to it. I don't know if that would quite work. But there's a little bit of kind of a purple tone in there. Maybe do purple. Gives Paladin vibes. It does give Paladin vibes. That's true. Could do silver maybe, or... I mean, could do gold. There's just a lot of gold in it. I feel like that might be a little bit too much. What color do we want to do for these? I worry that silver might blend in too much. Maybe a really light silver tone? Really, I don't know, blue maybe? Maybe a blue? A really pale blue? Or, alternatively, I could go for like a darker, right? Because there's a little bit of like this color of blue in there. I could do maybe like this, like a dark blue. Well, let's try it. we'll put it on another one and see if we like it. Cat hair in my face. Cat hair. There's so much. I don't know. I don't think it stands out quite enough. I don't like how dark it is. Let's try the light blue. See how we feel about that. Oh yeah, this one. This one's just a little bit dry and thick. Light blue might be the way to go. I'm kind of maybe the light blue. It's not quite as like. Ooh, maybe the light blue. Oh, kind of thinking the light blue. What other? Is there any other colors I should try? I've got one more dye here. We could try another color. See how we like it. I could do a purple. There's a little bit of purple in these. At the moment, I think the light blue is my favorite. Oh, cat hair in my nose. Itchy. What other color should we try? Weird idea. I could do each light blue or silver. We could try silver. Let's try silver. Let's see how silver looks. So this silver. I do have a weird idea here too. We could ink every dye different. Each one in a different color. That might be so much water. Yeah, I think I was right in thinking the silver maybe blends in too much. It's a little bit too similar in value, I think, to the rest of the dice. I think the light blue is still my favorite. Let me pull this in a little bit closer. I think the light blue is still my favorite. I think it stands out. Your Chaos Brain says yes to all the colors. We could do each one in a different tone. I do think that the silver blends in the most. So maybe we do a... Oh, you know what? Maybe here's what we do. I have an idea. What if I find a blue that's in between? So instead of the silver, what if I found a blue or a mixed blue that's in between the dark blue and the light blue? So we kind of have a medium blue there. So we go from white all the way to the dark blue. And then each die would be a different blue color. Well, except for the white. I kind of like that idea. I think that's fun. Let me see if I have a good blue tone. We'll do something fun and different with this one. Why not? Might as well. Let me see if I have a good blue that's kind of in between the dark blue and the light blue real quick. I'm just getting this. I'm just splattering silver everywhere apparently. Let me get the silver out real quick. Let me see what I have. What do we think of that? I feel like maybe I might just mix something. I think I'm going to mix something with these two because I want something in the middle. And I don't think I have anything that's quite right. I did, luckily, pull out a little palette so we could mix up some paint. So let's try mixing up a blue color. I don't need very much. Let's just do like a drop of each for now and see. Oh, I've got this one. It's kind of thick. See where we get with that. I could maybe just add a little bit of white as well. Oh, actually, that blue's kind of pretty. I think maybe a little bit lighter. I don't know, actually. Oh, that might not be bad. That might not be a bad blue. Actually, that might be perfect as an in-between. I'll show you. I could actually go darker, I think. Actually, ooh, it looks nice on the camera. I think I like that. I think I like that. Should I go a little bit darker on this one, do you think? Or do you think that's a good middle? That might be perfect. Might be perfect. I say we, I think so. I think that's it. Alright, let me do this blue real quick. Since it's sitting out. As mentioned, we don't need very much of this color. It's a whole 4 sides of a die. Oh, I do want to make sure that I fill them in nice and completely. Who says all the dice have to be the same? Let's do something fun. We'll ink them all different. All right. All right, let's do our dark blue. Partially just because this side obviously needs a little bit more. It's kind of translucent, this blue is. I don't know if it's the blue paint or if I just had a really thin layer here. I feel like there's so much, I don't want to say wasted potential. I think I waste so much potential with the ink color sometimes. I definitely have like my favorites that I go back to every time. Like more often than not, I'm inking things in like a flat white or a gold, which is why I have such big bottles of them because they're kind of my go-tos. But why not do something a little bit weird and off the wall sometimes? I'm still debating if the white is too white though, and if I should add a little bit of blue to it just to give it a slightly cooler tint. You know what I mean? Like, just so it's a little bit like a cool toned white. A little bit more of a blue white. I feel like maybe it doesn't quite match the other colors at the moment. So I'm thinking maybe I add just the barest amount of this light blue to the white just to make it a little bit more matchy-matchy. Let's try it. If I don't like it, well, I've got a little bit of blue on my paintbrush. That's really what I was thinking. I'll just do literally a drop of white. Make a mess. Just gonna make it a little bit cooler toned. Yeah, I think that'll be good. It's more of a blue white. Yeah, it's ever so slightly different, but I think it helps. Makes it match a little bit more. Doesn't feel quite as harsh in contrast with the other other blue colors maybe. So it's got a little bit of that tone, kind of undertone to it. All right, let's see how these look together. I think that's a fun idea. All right. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Ta-da! I think that's fun. All right, let's see if... Ooh, yeah. So that's dried now. So here, let's see if I can show you the blue sparkles that we added to the purple. Let's see what you guys think. So I added blue sparkles to the purple. I think it actually made it, like, it made it stand out more because of the sparkles. Like, you maybe don't see it as much in person, but like that too, it really, like, the sparkles really stand out. It really glitters. So I think we could do that. I think gold where it's copper, and then the purple with the blue shimmer to it with the blue sparkles on top. I think that works. I think it works. It is a little bit difficult to read. I think the two does blend in quite a lot. Like, it is very subtle. It's very subtle, but sometimes I think subtle's fine. Like, we went for things that were legible on this set. We can go for something that's a little bit more subtle on this set. Why not? Okay, let me get some of my paints put away. I've got far too many sitting here now. So we need the gold, we need the purple, and we need the blue. We can get other things put away. There we go. Those are out of my way now. Got a little bit more space because I do need to film inking one of these as well. I think we're fine there. Get this down. I think it's that everyone can see. Start with the gold. Actually, no, we'll start with the purple. So that it'll hopefully dry, and then we can go back with the blue. Oh, wow, it's windy out. Just kind of started up all of a sudden. Okay. A little bit more purple. Really didn't get much out of here. There we go. It's nice to get. I like to have like a lot of different options for shots, like video shots. That way I can pick the ones that I want, that I think match what I'm going for and the vibe of things the best. That is, of course, why this camcorder is absolutely caked in like resin and things. Because while I'm working with resin, I pick it up and I move it around. Which means it just ends up with all the resin that's been on my hands on it. I feel like it's not as important that I get complete coverage with this purple, because we're gonna, one, it's subtle, so you won't really notice if there's a slight gap, and two, we're gonna do the blue glitter over the top, which will also kind of obfuscate any slight, you know, missing areas or anything. There's your word of the day, obfuscate. My one of the running jokes, I suppose, at work at the moment is a couple of my coworkers have been teasing me about all of the random words that I know. One of them has been doing this by saying, sorry, I don't know these long fancy words, when I use words that are like 3 letters long. Oh yeah, your heat gun. Yeah, absolutely caked in random stuff. It's because a coworker and I have been playing this card game that, in which it's kind of like, card Scrabble. Scrabble, but with cards. And every once in a while, I just have a random word. I'm like, it's a thing! I know it's a thing! Let's see, what were some examples? Poi, the Hawaiian dish. Poi, P-O-I. That one actually, I think I helped her get points. It's a very, laid-back game that we play. Vernal, I think, was one of them. V-E-R-N-A-L. Is that the one that means, like, that's relating to the spring? Used that at one point. Gotta use that V for some extra points. Anyways, today's word is obfuscate, apparently. I've always liked words. I've always had a large vocabulary, even as a baby. Toddler, I guess. Okay, got our purple done on this first one. Let's do our gold, and then we'll go back for the sparkles. Gold. I will say when it comes to, like, language, the thing that I was never enthused about was grammar. Never enjoyed grammar all that much. Just like I just, a lot of it I know intuitively. It's like I know what sounds right in English, but I wouldn't be able to tell you the rules for it. I don't remember the names of all the parts of speech or whatever. To be fair, I was kind of that way with phonics. I guess I still am to a certain extent, but it's like I just did things without thinking about it. I've always been good at sounding things out, but wouldn't have been able to tell you the rules, mostly because I wasn't thinking about them. But since doing more education stuff and actually having to teach kids phonetic rules and things, it's like, oh, I have to think about this now. Why do words work the way that they do? Why do we say them the way that we do? We've got lots of exceptions, of course, in English when it comes to phonetic rules, but there are phonetic rules for a lot of things, a lot of words. I didn't really realize, I wasn't thinking about it either, when I took, like, French. I feel like I picked up the phonics of French, some of it at least, surprisingly fast as well. Like, if I see something written down, I can kind of sound it out. and their various digraphs and things. Trigraphs, quadrigraphs, I don't know what you call that. They've got a lot of combinations of letters that go together that change the sound of things. Like, if you want to make an E say A, like the sound A, you could do ET. I would make it say A. You could do an E with an accent on it. You know, there's just, I feel like I pick up phonics rules quickly. What is on? There's a piece of blue paint there. Okay, let me zoom this one in. You just learn the dictionary is just the most common words. They have to take words out to add new ones and new additions. The most comprehensive set of dictionaries is like 37 volumes and costs a ton. Yeah, I mean, there's some words that we just don't use anymore too, right? Here's a question for you, though. Like, online versions? Like, I imagine they don't have to take words out for, like, an online version of a dictionary. Right? Because, like, when my coworker and I are playing that Scrabble game, you know, we're using, like, the online Merriam-Webster site to look things up. Alright, now we're back to the beginning. Let's add our blue sparkles. Once we're done with this dye, I'm going to do it one color at a time on all of these, but we're doing this one all at once so that I can get it filmed. But yeah, man, that it really doesn't surprise me that... Oop, I might need to let this dry a little bit. The purple's not really dry. I think we're gonna have to come back. We're gonna have to come back to this. We'll have to let that dry and come back to it to add the sparkles. It was in a video you watched yesterday. I can't remember what they said about that, but they did mention the best site. Oh. Now I'm curious what the best site is. I want to look up all of the archaic words that we don't use anymore. Give me the forbidden language that is no longer in the dictionary. I shall start using it exclusively. I read a thing recently. It was really interesting. It was like a story, but it went back like 100, I think it was 100 years at a time. Was it 100 years at a time? No. Can't have been. Yeah. It was, I guess it was 100. Why is my brain not working? It must have been 100 years at a time. Yeah, anyways, it went back. It was in sections, and each section went back, 100 years at a time, and was written in the language and the style of the day. And basically, it was how far back can you go and still understand what's being said. And it was really interesting, because there's kind of like a cutoff point almost, where like, it's like this is unrecognizable as English, pretty much. There's no overlap between modern English and whatever this is. It like, for a long time, even though sometimes at a certain point it gets difficult to read, like, it's still understandable, especially if you like read it out loud. You can figure out, it's just things are spelled completely differently, but they sound the same to a certain extent. I mean, obviously, you started using the, is it an F? what is it called? Is it called an Eth or thorn? I can't remember. There's other letters basically that were used instead of like our, we use TH, we use 2 letters to denote a certain sound. But there was just a separate letter for that at one point. Is it called the... They mentioned several that the people who made the dictionary were trying to bring back dead words. I mean, that's interesting. Is it called an Eth? Eth and thorn, I think. Those are 2 different. Oh yeah, those are 2 different. Yeah, thorn letter. It's an old English, I think, and then Eth, thorn, win. So there's some of the most well-known ones, I think, but they're just letters that are represented some of the sounds that we have in English, but now we use other letters to represent. All right, I should do the purple on most of these probably first, so that we can go back and do the sparkly bits. I mean, even like, let me grab a book that I've been reading. Let's see. So I should go back to this. I've been reading classic Jeeves, but even this is what, from the 1920s, and some of the language in here I'm like, this is obviously slang that we don't use anymore. I'm just trying to see if there's any here. I find an example. I mean, a lot of it is I mean, it's all understandable, but it's just like some of the slang in here. It's like, even just like, let's see. Just calling each other like old thing and things. Listen to me, old thing. Like, we don't call people old thing like as a friendly sort of although I suppose this is British as well, so Bally? What does that mean? B-A-L-L-Y? Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Used to read a lot of historical romance, and some slang is hilarious. Fair. Ah, hi, Cobra. Here's a question. When you say historical romance, Do you mean romance that is about a historical setting, or romance that was written in the past? I suppose you probably mean it's from a historical setting. But, ooh, pizza. I'm hungry. I know I've got more things to ink, but actually, to be fair, I think my brothers maybe just come out to work on dinner. But, both? Oh, that's fair. Well, here's a question for you, too. When if you're reading both, is there a marked difference between fiction that is written about a historical time and written that was written in that historical time, or at least historical romance specifically? Because I imagine that a lot of perhaps, well, not necessarily, but some modern books that are written supposed to take place in a historical time are probably trying to bring in slang and maybe, prose in a certain style that reflects that time period. So I'm wondering, like, they're probably trying to emulate somewhat the time period. So I'm curious what the overlap is, I guess, in style. I suppose, yeah, and I suppose some things might be cultural there too, right? Because like I said, the book I'm reading, I think Wodehouse was British, since the main character is. I think he lives in, like, London. Although I think he's in New York at that point in the book. Seems like he's in New York. But I will say, amusing book. I haven't gotten very far into it, obviously, but it is amusing, and I think part of the reason that I enjoy it is that the characters are very endearing. Like, and it's like a series of short stories. So it's nice because I can just sit and read, like, one short story and then go do something else. I might leave this in here, actually. I have a tendency when I'm, like, editing to be like, oh, I need a break, and just, like, scroll on my phone. But for a while there, I had it in here, and I would literally be like, oh, I need a break, and then read, like, a page. Historically written is more straightforward. They don't have to explain because they expect it to be understood. Oh, that makes sense. That's a good point. I feel like there is... Yeah. That's a good point. I feel like there's almost something to be said about books that maybe aren't from the time period, but still do that. Like, I feel like worlds in fiction feel immersive when there's things that are unexplained and you kind of have to figure things out from context. Like, because if a character has to explain something, then it makes it maybe seem like it is not normal. Whereas if there's dragons in a world, for example, if there's actually dragons, it would be so normal, and the characters would assume that other characters would know information about them that they don't have to say. So they just kind of talk about them like it's a normal thing. I feel like there is something in, like, world building that I don't know. My thoughts there aren't completely coherent, but hopefully you guys get kind of the gist of what I'm saying. Man, I've had an idea for a book for so long. I don't think that I'll probably never make the time to actually write it. I'm really not a writer. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I've got an idea for a plot and, like, characters and things. I think the thing that I think would be the hardest is just figuring out how to have, like, distinct characters. I would find that distinct and also, like, consistent characters. It's been a long time. I think I did a long time ago. I read a lot as a kid. I don't read nearly as much, at least books. I don't read nearly as much as an adult. But I read voraciously as a youth. I'm trying to remember if I read. I think I did. Oh, my light. Here, let me steal the charger from this one. Oh, to be fair, House of Leaves looks fun. It's one of those, maybe I'll get there at some point, but House of Leaves does look fun. It also looks like, yeah. I kind of want to read that at some point. I don't know if my brain would, understand it or not, but I like things that do weird, the audiobooks are amazing. Wait, audiobook of House of Leaves or Wheel of Time? I'm just imagining an audiobook of House of Leaves now, and that seems, like it would be an interesting... You'd have to do something interesting, I think, with that format change. I'm assuming you mean Wheel of Time. How would you do an audiobook of House of Leaves? Ah! Okay, Wheel of Time makes more sense. I'm not... Okay, I'll be honest. I'm not 100% sure what the actual story House of Leaves is about. I just know that the book itself is weird. Like, I don't mean the story, I mean the book. It looks very interesting. It's, like, not linear, I think. Not like a choose your own adventure, but, like, the pages are not normal pages. It looks like it would be fun to read, but also I think I remember hearing that it's kind of a challenging read. I wonder if I can look up House of Leaves. Oops, I can't type. If you do start it, let me know if I should start it too. Oh, it's epistolary fiction and metafiction. Okay. Yeah, the book is most often described as a horror story, although the author has also endorsed readers' interpretation of it as a love story. House of Leaves has also been described as an encyclopedic novel, or conversely, a satire of academia. So epistolary fiction means that it's written as a series of letters between fictional characters. But let me see if there's any... Yeah. They didn't have it in stock, but it is a classic. Text color change, yeah, formatting. The formatting, that's the word I was looking for. Oh, this actually sounds right up my alley. The book contains copious footnotes, many of which contain footnotes themselves, including references to fictional books, films, or articles. I love stuff like that. Oh, I might have to get House of Leaves. I think like I said, I haven't read, I don't really know anything about the story, but I think maybe it's kind of like a house that you can't escape, maybe, is kind of the vibe. And the book kind of represents that. I'm not sure. Don't read Wheel of Time if you ever plan on watching the show. I think that's true for a lot of things. Things don't always translate from one medium to another. I think the guy recommended it to you after you were talking about SCP stuff. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me, yeah. It seems like it has that vibe. That sort of, it's, I don't want to say cosmic horror, but kind of maybe. That sort of, it's maybe not cosmic horror, but that sort of vibe where it's just like confusing almost. But that does sound up my alley. I like making, like, there are entire episodes that have nothing to do with the book. I mean, yeah. I suppose when you, to be fair, when you move from one medium to another, sometimes you have to make changes for the format that you're in. But I could see that being frustrating as someone who enjoys the book. I feel like a mistake that a lot of, seems like the mistake that a lot of things make when they're trying to adapt things or make sequels. This is my gripe with adaptations and sequels, is when they don't get the theme or the tone right. I feel like those are the most important things. I think the story itself could be completely different if you really, like, depending on what it is, you know. Often people are looking for the story and the plot that they're used to, but especially with, like, sequels, I think that the most important things are theme and tone. Like, if you go from one thing, like if you try to make a sequel and you have something that completely undoes the themes and the gravitas of maybe the original. So if you have a character that dies in the original and then you bring them back for some reason and it, like, negates their sacrifice or whatever in the original, like, that obviously goes against the themes in the original thing, of, like, sacrifice or whatever. And then also, like, tone, like, if you're adapting something that's super fun and lighthearted, a true adaptation, and, like, maybe you make it suddenly, like, serious, it just feels weird. I think there's ways to do it, but it has to be intentional. Changing the tone of whatever you're doing. Well, and that's again a thing with sequels. Like, if you have the first movie or whatever that's fun and camp and actiony, and then you do a second one that's suddenly, like, super serious, like, it just feels wrong. Don't usually have problems with adaptations, and Brandon Sanderson was a consultant and they ignored him. He finished the series for Robert Jordan. That is unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everyone's going to have different opinions on how it's best to adapt things to. Or I think my gripes are more with sequels that go against those things than adaptations, because I think you can adapt something and make it something new. So you just have to be intentional about it. If you're gonna take something in a new direction, if you're adapting something and you're taking it in a new direction, I think intention is almost the most important thing. Thinking about why you're changing things and how you're changing things. Oh, talking about House of Leaves, though, what I was gonna say is I really like art that takes the medium that is in and then it messes with it. Like, I really like painting, but then doing things that manipulate the canvas in some way or add things that aren't paint to the canvas. Like, that's the thing that I enjoy the most. Like my I could go grab it, I suppose. Like I have a couple of paintings on my wall that I could grab. That I've done. Like I think House of Leaves is one of those genre bending, not genre, medium, that's what I was looking for, medium bending things where it is a book, but it messes with what the format of a book should be, or what the format of a book usually is. But I find that stuff really interesting. I do worry though that it might be a little bit too take a little bit too much brain power. I'm enjoying my lighthearted Jeeves stories at the moment. That one seems like I might have to think a bit. But yes, if you start reading it, I'd like to hear how it is. House of Leaves. Wheel of Time is also a classic. It's been around for. I think I did read it as a kid. I just don't remember it. I have like a vague memory of. Is it a series of books? Wheel of Time? Or is it just one book? I think I remember reading one book. It might have been the first book if it's a series. But that would have been more than 20 years ago, probably. Maybe 20 years ago. No comment on how old I am. It is weird thinking about how long ago some things were. It's like, it is funny, to be fair, when my parents, Wheel of Time? Was that what we're talking about? Yeah, Wheel of Time. Which, wait. I think I was saying, I think I read Wheel of Time, but if I did, I think it was probably like 20 years ago. And it would have been the first book. Because it's been around for a long time, right? Wheel of Time has. Wheel of Time. Yeah. Yeah, it's been around for a long time. When did it start? 1997. Yeah. Yeah. The Wheel of Time. Yeah, the first one came out in 1997. So yeah, I might have read it, but it probably would have been more than 20 years ago. Which means I don't remember it. I don't think I was reading House of Leaves 20 years ago. I might have been that might have been a bit much. I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? I might have been able to understand House of Leaves better 20 years ago than I would now. I don't know. Come on. Purple. Just throwing my paint everywhere. Why do I have so many messages on Discord all of a sudden? What does message mean? Ah. All from the same person. Yeah, I do want to get back into Reading more, I guess. Read more books. Oh, I was like, what is that rustling noise? It's like cat that's behind my monitor just laying there. I still have all 3 cats in here with me. They've been moving around subtly. Well, except for the one that's behind me, and oh, actually she's just sat up. And nope, she's going back down. She's settling back down. Ooh. She just turned around and curled up into a ball and went back to sleep. I feel like it kind of works for this. If I'm trying to edit and stuff, I end up with my back being just sore. If the cat's behind me, I'm sitting on like 2 inches of chair. I like being able to sit like cross-legged in my chair and lean back. I'm pretty sure it came out in 87 because your dad left it in his best friend's mailbox when he went to boot camp, also the year you were born. I'm looking at, oh no. Oh, novels, wait. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. What's the first novel? Wheel of Time is a series of high fantasy novels by Robert Jordan, with Brandon Sanderson as a co-author of the final 3 installments. Final volumes. Is the first book of the Eye of the World? This says it came out in 1990. I was looking at the wrong thing, but this one says it came out in 1990. I'm looking at the Wikipedia article. I have it up on my other monitor here. Yeah, according to the Wikipedia article, the publication date was the 15th of January, 1990 for The Eye of the World. I'll close that now. Maybe? I don't know. Who knows? Memory is an interesting thing. Like, it's interesting because it's interesting how people can remember things that they weren't actually there for, which maybe sounds weird, but it's because memory is weird. And it's like we're not necessarily good at actually remembering things, but we're good at kind of like putting ideas together that make us think that we remember things. I do think I know my earliest memory, and that's because it was not information that was given to me. It was I mentioned it to like my mom, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that all lines up." And it was our family friend's house before they were in the house that they're in now. So, and I think they moved when I was maybe about 3. Like, I think they moved when I was about 3. But it's like I remember it being dark green, and I remember a giant fence. And my mom was like, "Well, they had a dark green couch, and they had a 6-foot fence around a pool in the backyard." I was like, "Yeah, that lines up with what I'm thinking." I just remember a dark green color and a giant fence. Like I said, memory's an interesting thing. You thought you had a memory of a dead relative, turns out it was a home movie. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We just like tie things together. I mean, that's part of the reason that like witnesses or crimes can be unreliable, right? Is because if you're told information after the fact, you kind of assume it to have happened that way. Alright, cool. I've got all my purple. Got all my purple. Let's do the gold, and then we'll do all the sparkles. Oh, sorry, did I wake you? Apparently I woke her somehow. Okay, got gold on these. Alright, let's get our gold on these. What do you guys think your earliest memory is? There's our question of today. There's definitely things that my events that my parents have told me about. They were like, here's what we did for your first birthday or whatever, and it's one of those things where it's like, I know I don't actually remember it, but I can still like visualize it. It's like I can get I have an idea of what it would have felt like or looked like in my brain that it's like I know this isn't I don't actually remember this thing. But what is your actual like first memory? I have a terrible memory in general. Like people talk about things from school and I'm like I really don't remember much of anything. If I had to pick out like old teachers from like a lineup, I don't think I'd recognize their faces. I've never been good with faces though either, to be fair. Um, oh, you were in the video, but remember from watching it? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Meeting your dad for the first time? We picked him up after he left the service. Ah, that's lovely. How old were you at the time? I imagine probably pretty young. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I was asking about first memories, but there we go. We got the gold on that. Next. We're almost done. Just need to do the sparkly bits on these, and then we've got one more set of fate dice. 3? Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I think 3 is kind of the classic, like, age where you start actually forming memories, right? I feel like that's a thing. I feel like I've definitely heard that before. It seems like most people don't remember anything before the age of 3. I imagine there's some people that have, like, eidetic memory that can, but I don't know how that works. Is eidetic the word I'm looking for? Like photographic memory, is that eidetic memory? Eidetic memory. Eidetic memory, also known as photographic memory and total recall, is the ability to recall an image from memory with high precision, at least for a brief period of time, after seeing it only once. Oh, without using a mnemonic device. Oh, so they're kind of technically different things, but... So it's not quite the... So photographic memory is not just, like... Yeah. If your doll in her pool on top of the car, it flew off and they wouldn't go get it. Oh! Oh, so sad. That would have been... Oh, I know how kids are. That would have been so... Yeah, I can see why you remember that. That's one of those things where... Yeah. Reminds me of a thing I saw at one point that was just like, why are kids crying about so many things? I was like, they haven't been around very long. Everything is the worst thing that's ever happened to them. It's like, them not being able to find their stuffed animal is the worst thing that has happened to them this week. They've not had enough time to understand the concept of loss yet, or, that would definitely be memorable as a small child. Alright, we got that gold. One more thing of gold. Try to get that gold paint in there. All right. I feel like you can tell when we're kind of nearing the end of the stream because I go quiet. It's like, well, I've run out of all things to say now. Let's see, what do I have planned for this week? What do I have planned for this week? I think working on editing more videos as usual. I think I want to try working on cleaning my living room. I've taken to like Saturdays are now my cleaning days. I've just been working my way around the house and doing like a different room every Saturday. Because otherwise, like if I don't take like a day for it, nothing gets done because I'm working on video editing or I'm at work or whatever. I don't make time for it. I think I might work on tackling the living room a bit and cleaning that out. Ooh, I need to get some of the paint off of some of these faces. This one this one's got paint all over the faces. All right, so I think we could grab one of these and my camera. Let's grab one of the ones that we haven't started adding the sparkles to yet. And that's nice and dry. Let's do this one. This one's got... Oh no! How did you do that, Mitch? You dropped your phone in the... Oh dear. Oops. Apparently your phone also decided it had to dip. It's like, bye! Goodbye. Off into the sink I go. Peace. You know, yeah, it's true. I do feel like, luckily, it seems like a lot of modern phones are maybe better. Like, I feel like they're made to handle water better than maybe they used to be. Seems like it anyways. I feel like a lot of smartphones nowadays that are they're fairly water resistant. I remember at one point we got new cell phones or whatever, and oh, porta potty, no, thank you. But at one point, like, my dad got a new phone, and it said that it was, you drop your phone in the bath a lot? Oh boy. The a lot part concerns me. Might be time for a change in how you bring your phone to the bath, I guess. I can't talk though, I use my phone in the bath all the time. Your cat knows the cats are here. That's probably true. Listening to podcasts but there's no surface around that's flat and say, fair. You know, I get that. The side of the tub is, like, angled just a little bit. I get that. You need, like, one of those bath trays that can go, I mean, not all baths will take that. But just, like, one of those trays that goes across the bath that you can put things on. There's your arch. Anyways, let's see. Oh, the story I was telling you though about the about phones being water resistant. We had gotten new phones at one point, and they were supposed to be water resistant. And my dad was like, "Great, let's test it out." And we literally it just kind of happened to line up this way, but we went to, like, a water park, like, a week or two later. And so he tested it out by carrying it in his pocket in the lazy river the whole time. We were all just like, this is a terrible idea. This is not it's not how you test that your phone is water resistant. He's like, well, if it's water resistant, it's water resistant. And I mean, in his defense, the phone was fine, but we were all just like, oh dear. His new phone. Like, well, he's the one that pays for the phone, so. Yay for being a non-smartphone user. It's probably for the best. To be fair, I didn't have a smartphone for a long time. I was a late adopter to the smartphone. I had a track phone for a long time. I can't remember how I ended up with a smartphone, but it's probably for the best. I spend too much time on it now. Is how you lost your phone last summer in a lazy river? Were you carrying your phone around in a lazy river? Is that how you lost it? Are you perhaps my father? No, I had a just a little track phone for a long time when I was off at school, and actually I think for ways into my job. You feel like smartphone hardware design peaked around or just before the S8, S9? That was maybe around the time. It might have been the S7. Phones are way thicker and have less features now. Man, the cameras stick out all funky now too. That's one of my weird gripes. I don't know why they made it so that, like, if you don't have a case on your phone won't rest flat on a table. I mean, I have a case on my phone. I do know someone that doesn't have a case on their smartphone. I do think that they're insane for it. It's like that thing's gonna break, but I guess it works for them. Okay, cool. But yeah, like the cameras stick out so far that if you like don't have a case on it and you set it on the table, it doesn't lay flat. It's like it rests on the camera because it sticks out. I don't know. Let that dry and then we can see how it looks. Man, I feel like all of this stuff wants to just stick to the faces instead of going into the numbers. I have to clean these off quite a bit. Yeah, I had a track phone for quite a while, Cobra. No headphone jack, no SD card slot, no funky fresh features like heart rate sensor, weird camera bumps. SMH. Yeah. Shaking my head. No, I agree. No, I'm with you. Maybe I'm also an old man, I don't know. Shaking my fist at a cloud, but I'm with you. I also don't like that they got rid of like headphone jacks and things. Not that I use it, but like I'd like to have the option. The lazy river was fine. It was the wave pool that did it. That sounds like something that would happen to my dad. Yeah, yeah. I sorry. You gotta admit you kind of brought that one upon yourself a little bit, bringing a smartphone into a wave pool. It's a choice. Oh man, that's a choice. Did you ever get it back, or was it just like lost? That is really unfortunate if it was lost. But I feel like you need to have like zip up pockets or something if you're gonna be doing that. My mom's the type of person that will bring uh like a lanyard that has like one of those like waterproof containers. You're due for an upgrade anyways. Fair. Yeah. One of those like waterproof like wallets basically attached to like a lanyard. Like she's very much the person that is prepared. And then my dad is the wild card. It is. I can go grocery shopping with either my mom or my dad. It drives me insane going grocery shopping with both of them. Because they are. It's mostly because it drives them insane going grocery shopping together. Because my dad just runs. My mom is the person that has a list. She's got a list. She knows where everything is in the store, so she knows the order that she's going to grab things from the store. She does the grocery shopping for the most part. But if my dad comes along, he has the cart and he'll just wander off with the cart and come back and be like, "Look at all these things I found." And it drives my mom insane. She's like, "Where's the cart? I need to put my things in the cart." Anyways, so I can go grocery shopping with one of them. I'm fine wandering off with my dad or following my mom around while she goes down her list, but going grocery shopping with the both of them, I'm like, wandering off. You had it in a waterproof pouch, and the phone was supposed to be waterproof. Oh, I think I misunderstood. So it didn't survive the water, or it got washed away. Oop! I'm throwing my dice. Or it got washed. I was thinking it got washed away. Like it just disappeared off into the waves. It is interesting, like, Like it looks so like white here, where it hasn't cured yet, as opposed to here's what it'll look like when it has cured. Look at all that blue sparkle. Oh, it did survive the water. I misunderstood. I thought it got swept off into the wave pool somewhere. Worked at a water park a while back. The wave pool is universally just a destructive force. Man, yeah. Sometimes it's scary being in the wave pool. If you get like knocked over and swept under. One summer, more than 130 people had to be pulled from the pool. Oh gosh, that's so many people. Hopefully not all at once, but that's so many people. I mean, ocean waves are crazy too. I remember as a kid just playing in the ocean waves and just getting completely bowled over. It'd be, yeah. And then, of course, because I was a kid, being like, well, I guess I'm going back out into the water again. Never like swimming, but just far enough out that the waves were big enough to knock me over, I guess. I don't think I was very big at the time. Not all at once, although once a group of 4 or 5 people went to the deep end on a few tubes, and they all had to be rescued because the waves turned on. They flipped and couldn't swim. Oh, gosh. Why are you there on 2 inner tubes if you can't swim? That seems like a poor decision. Yeah, not some smart decisions. I do think it's easy enough to get bowled over by a wave and overwhelmed quickly, but going out when you can't swim does seem like some poor decision making. Hi, kitten. Oh. Hello. Hello, good morning. You're awake. Not as funny when she wakes up because she looks like she just woke up. You can see her blinky eyes, all bleary eyed. It's funny when it's like she's been in like a dark room and you turn the light on, she's like, oh. Like, she looks rumpled. Your youngest kept getting into trouble at the wave pool. You had to rescue her. She was giving you a heart attack. Yeah. Yeah. The wave pool might be one of those things to go into together if you got a little kid, I suppose. I don't know how young your youngest is, but man, those things can get crazy. The wave pools can. But they're so fun. Cat needs kitty coffee. Yeah. Believe me, if she thought that was a thing that existed, I'm sure she would beg me for it. She's always begging for treats. No, I think Not is just very expressive. Like, this is Not, by the way, the one behind me. She also has perfected the act of like glaring. Like, if another cat hops up into her space, she just gives them like this death glare. It's very funny. Like, you can tell when she's up. Like, she glares when she's mad. It's just funny how expressive she is. All right. Here's that one. 2 more. 11. Oh, okay. She had a life vest on, but she just kept getting face full of wave. Yeah. Uh, uh, NOTT. She's named after the Critical Role, character. All of my cats are named after characters from things. had to think for a second on how to spell that, but yeah, N-O-T-T. It was because she's a full-grown cat. She's half the size of my other cats. But the part of the reason we named her as such is that when we got her, she was a kitten. She was a barn cat. Like a barn cat had a bunch of kittens. She kind of just got dropped off at my house. And the first 2 days that we had her, she just hid underneath my bed for like the first 2 days. I put some food and water under there for her and things, but she did not come out for like 2 days. Except that she kept stealing toys and dragging them under the bed. She was just like this little like feral thief. So we named her after the Goblin Rogue from Critical Role, who was a bit of a kleptomaniac. We thought it was fitting. It does make it a little bit confusing sometimes when we say she's not allowed to do something, but you know, we make it work. But yeah, I've got Not, and then I've got Fitz, which is short for Fitzwilliam, and I've got Luna, and then I've got Koshi, which is short for Koshek, which is from Welcome to Night Vale. There's a quite popular narrative podcast from a long while. Actually, I think it might still be going, but from a while back. You got your cat from the Free Cat Distribution Network too. Yeah, I meant to get 2 of the cats that I have. Well, I meant to get 3 of them. I chose to get 2 of them. And I really chose one of them. I chose Fitz. He's very much my cat. Koshi, I did decide to get another cat, but I let my brother choose which cat we got. So I say that Koshi's kind of his cat, but he says that Koshi's my cat. And then, oh yeah, pet deposits and things, yeah. Ooh. Luna, a former roommate, really wanted to get, but it was with the understanding that if she moved out, the cat would stay with me. So, I ended up with Luna because of my former roommate, and then Not, like I said, she showed up at my house. It's not like she showed up by herself. A friend went to pick her up from like, I don't know if it was a family member's farm or something, because someone in my town said that they wanted the cat, and then the person never showed up. You live in the country by a dead end road, you get a lot of cats. We get cats here too. I also live in a cul-de-sac, so dead end road, and then there's a canyon at the end of my road. So we get all sorts of animals. Get a lot of raccoons and such. I've seen raccoons in the backyard. They're maybe a little bit more urban usually, but but no, my friend went and picked her up from the farm, came back into town. The person was a no-show. And she was like, "Hey, can you watch this cat for like a week?" Anyways, and now I've had her for 5 years. A lot of bunnies and some foxes. Ooh. That sounds fun to me. We don't have... we do have some bunnies around here, but we don't really have foxes, I don't think. We have raccoons and random cats. What else have I seen? I mean, I have a cat that's definitely brought back mice and rats, but my cat Fitz does go outside. The other three don't. You run on a trail nearby and see like a handful of rabbits that have 0 reaction time or reflex, and wait until you're a few meters away to jump. You get sandhill cranes. That's fun. I mean, we've got other, like, I'm trying to think of things that I've seen in my backyard, but we get all sorts of other wild animals near here. You get like coyotes and all sorts of birds and things. See eagles occasionally. Not in my backyard, but a lot of falcons and some of them too. A lot of seagulls. Get a lot of seagulls. Some quail. Ran into a deer a few times. Hopefully not physically. Not like directly into one. Oh, you played chicken. Yeah. No, we've got deer around here too. I've definitely seen them occasionally. I don't see them as often, but definitely seen them. The ones we have are not too big. I don't think the deer around here are too big. See deer around there as well, including ones that seem to like your tomato plant leaves. Ah. Yeah, I don't think I've gotten that close to the deer around here. That seems pretty close. When it comes to things in my backyard, raccoons is pretty much it. And birds. While I finish this up, we should think about what we want to ink these with. Maybe white for these. I feel like that would stand out nice. Kind of fits the... Maybe white for those. Because I'm almost done with this, and then that's going to be our last little thing to ink. Do that set of fate dice. I ran into a pack of coyotes once, actually. Oh. Yeah, I do live... Maybe you should stop running around sundown. Yeah, that is when things tend to come out. I don't blame you, though. I feel like it's hot during the day. I don't know where you live and what the temperature's like, but at least here, it's starting to get really hot during the day. If I was going to go out, I'd much rather do it in the cool evening. Alright, I think those are done. Yeah, I think, this ended up really subtle, but I think I like it. Yeah! Let me, that one's still drying, but let me see these. Oh, that really worked. Cool. I like those. Alright. Like I said, I've got this as well. I think this could be inked as white as well. I'm thinking maybe just white for these ones. I think it'll stand out from the black. It'll be nice and bold. I think we just do a flat white. Just do a flat white color for those. Nice and easy. Your mother-in-law could tell you all the wildlife we get. She lives next door and loves to watch out her window. Ah. That honestly sounds nice and relaxing. Get this D6. This is just a random D6. I like to have some miscellaneous polished D6s on hand because I tend to send them when people order sets. I send like a bonus D6. So I like to occasionally make some more just so that I have some in stock, as it were. Went to a Kirby festival over the weekend, like a festival dedicated to the character Kirby, or is this some other thing that I don't know? Is there something else by that name? Oh, okay. Yes, like Nintendo Kirby. So what was the now I want to know about this festival. What sort of stuff, like what sort of events and stuff did it have? I'm not sure like festival makes me think music or like carnival almost. Some like what sort of like it does sound fun. I'm just curious what sort of stuff did you do there? Yeah, I think the white's all right. Stands out nicely. Bunch of booths with people selling Kirby merch, a Kirby themed fashion contest with some prizes, Kirby bowling, and Kirby tossing. That's fun. I can see how if you're a big fan of the character, it'd be fun just to meet up with people who are also big fans of the character too. I feel like that's part of the fun of like conventions and things in general. They had an eating competition, but you missed it. That makes sense. That seems on theme. It's kind of cute. Yeah. Sounds like it was a fun excuse to just meet up with other people that liked similar things, which is always fun. Dropping things. All right, we are almost done. We've got 2 more dice. And then I'll go over all the things that we inked today. And then I'm going to go see how far my brother is in making dinner because I can hear him in the kitchen. Sounds like it was a good time. I do kind of want to go to like a convention again at some point, like not as a vendor. It's been a while since I've been to a convention just for fun. One of these days, maybe I'll go back to Emerald City Comic Con or something. I went years ago when I was going to school at UW. think I smell food being cooked. Food. All right. So, let's get this. I did make a Jumbo D20 once that I think was themed after something from a Kirby game. I could find it if you want to see. I can't remember. I might have shown it to you before if you were talking about Kirby. The thing is, I'm not super familiar with the games. Found a good picture here. You might have, yeah. I think if you were talking about Kirby before, I probably pulled up the picture. I don't have a huge frame of reference for the character. I know of Kirby. I don't know the lore. I haven't played the games. I'm sorry to say this, and I'm sure you will. Hopefully, you will all forgive me, but I'm not a gamer. Not much, anyways. I like watching other people play games. I don't play a lot of games myself. I like puzzle games. That's about the extent of my gaming. I don't have the hand-eye coordination for like platformers and things. I'll sit and watch my brother play platformers. He can do them, but man. He started playing Silk Song recently, and I kind of just sat in his room for 2 hours and watched him play it. Alright. I think that's all of our stuff. Alright, let's go over all the things that we inked today. Let me get the camera. Oops. Focused up close. First up, we inked our Beachy D6s in gold. Lovely, lovely. I'm really happy with these. I think the gold was good choice. I like the gold. It feels very not. It's like gold coins almost. It's like pirates booty. So we got those, and then we would highly recommend Kirby Air Riders, but yeah, I don't have a Switch too. Overstimulating game. I'm so yeah. I don't know if that'd be the game for me. So I need to clean these up a little bit. The ink's a little bit messy, but I'll do that later. We did these next in a lovely pink, like a white color that shimmers pink. Very, very subtle shimmer to it. Like I said, I need to clean them up a little bit, but I got those all inked. I like the numbers are nice and easy to see on those, which is nice. Then we did these ones. We did a much more subtle color for the purple on there. It's a little bit harder to read. I also need to clean up the sides on these too. And then we did a nice gold on the copper, which I think stands out nicely. Pretty happy with how those look. Then we did these, which we decided to have a little bit of fun, and we did all of the sides, or all the dice different. So all different shade of blue, ranging in tone. Oh, that side still needs to. That was fun. I'm glad we did this. This amuses me greatly that we did every die different. I think it's fun. I guess that's the important thing, but I'm having fun. Random D6, and then these guys, which I just did in white, which is a very bold choice against all the black. But these dice have so much just random. These were dump mold dice. It was just random things that I had left over from what I was working on. So the white, I think, kind of works because there's so much stuff going on in these dice. It's nice and bold but neutral. And that's all the stuff that we inked. Oh, and it's been like 3 hours. My goodness. Anyways, I think that's probably I'm gonna call it here. Let's see, what are we gonna do next week? I don't know what we're doing next week. We might sand things. Might do some more sanding. I'm not sure. Depends on where I'm at in the process of making things. Maybe we'll find some new fun little art project to work on together. But that's gonna do it for today. I appreciate you guys hanging out. It was nice chatting with you all while I was working on these. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Hopefully, I will see you guys next weekend. If not, have fun. I'll see you in the next video you watch. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Have a good night or day or